Alright, I will try my best not to talk too much about the civil war, but you gotta admit the northern province, it kind of did happen, and I really need to. But honestly, this place is really chill now, and well, I had the greatest honor of talking about this place. So, without further ado, welcome to the Northern Province, a world within a world. For years, this place has been closed off to the rest of the world. However, now it's returning back to some people's bucket list. So, if you actually have been to the Northern Province, you probably might know that the journey to it might probably be worth it. So, yeah, let's go over to the unknown land, shall we? First of all, the Northern Province, or Vani as it's called, is located in northern Sri Lanka, surrounded by 3 provinces, and it is divided into 5 districts. The capital and the largest city is Jaffna. It's actually not the largest city, JK. The largest city is way down south in the town of Vaunia at 99,000 people strong. Jaffna has about 87,000. And after those two, the largest city is Chavakacheri, which is a few kilometers away from Jaffna. The largest airport and the third largest airport in the country is Jaffna International Airport, which was declared as such very recently. It's also located in the town of Palali. And many do fly into the northern province, but always, here's a montage showing the best roads you can take. Now let's get back to the airport. Why does this thing even exist? Well, that is because, according to former Minister Arjuna Ranatunga, he said that many of the Tamils who live in the northern province have to take a very tiresome bus journey from Jaffna to Colombo, in order to visit their relatives who live abroad. So, in order to solve that issue, they have declared the Jaffna airport to be the 3rd official international airport of the country. Simple. And for now, before COVID-19 started coming around, there were flights to many places like Kochi and Chennai in India, and more expected to come, obviously, after COVID-19. Most of to places like Malé or Kuala Lumpur or Singapore, or basically a lot of places actually. So yeah, fingers crossed. Now let's talk about the islands of the Northern Province. The Northern Province contains many of the offshore islands of Sri Lanka, such as Nainathiu, Karaithiu, Delft, Kites, and the Manna Islands. Speaking of Manna Island, the Adams Bridge. This is one of the world's biggest mysteries as of now, and many people are wondering what to call this mess right over here in the Indian Ocean. Some say it's a chain of limestone islands, but regardless, let's just consider it as, well, Adams Bridge, or Ram Setu as it's called in multiple languages. It's actually sort of like a chain of limestone island, kind of, that stretches from Rameshwaram Island in India up until the Manna Island in Sri Lanka. Yeah, wait for my episode. Yes, I will. Stay tuned. But anyways, we gotta move on. Now, it's rumored to be the bridge that Adam crossed when he landed on top of a mountain in Sri Lanka, and he used this bridge in order to cross over to India. This will be interesting. And finally, the 2 Pancheswarams. Excuse me, what? Look, I already made the Eastern Province video. Just watch it if you want to know me. But anyways, so in the Northern Province, there are 2 Pancheswarams, as I already told you, which are the Tirukeswaran temple in the Manna district and the Naguleshwaram temple in the Jaffna district. And also another thing is that some people might say that Lord Shiva, actually used this bridge to cross over to Sri Lanka from India in order to visit the Tirukeswaran temple. And like I said before, those islands, they are most likely made out of limestone. Speaking of limestone, so for 26 years, the Northern Province has been closed off to the rest of the country, that pretty much all the old buildings that exist now actually have been sort of recovered by nature. This definitely shows that nature is alive and well in the Northern Province. But to give you a little bit of sense, here is the map. So, the northern province is located in the region known as the Northern Plain, which I think you probably may have heard of because, well, it is located in the northern province and it is completely flat and yeah, it basically takes up the entire province. And well, there's actually a fun fact: there's no highest point in the northern province. However, the longest river is the Parangiaru in the Vana district, and humidity can range from 70 to about 90%. The economy-wise, the northern province is mainly dependent on the fishing and the farming sectors. Unfortunately, though, the northern province has the lowest GDP contribution rate out of all the provinces in Sri Lanka at just 3.5%. However, they can make it up for it with the second highest GDP growth rate at a whopping 22%, which is the second highest after the North Central province. We'll explain more about that in the next video, so stay tuned. And another thing is that unfortunately, unemployment is also a huge issue. 33% of the province's population is unemployed. That means 1 out of 3 people in the province is unemployed. And well, I think you can understand why, because of the turbulent past. Another thing is, well, remittances also make up a significant portion of the northern province economy because why not? And also the Kankasanture harbour in Jaffna and the international airport also makes a significant portion of trade income in the northern province as well. Tourism is also a huge thing out here as well, considering that they have relatively stability as of now, and also they opened up to the rest of the world, and many tourists are now coming in and checking out the beautiful sights. Speaking of the employees of tourism, when you have to, endure a huge lockdown time and when you are being closed off to the rest of the world, it is very important to use that lockdown time to create a brand new you and come out even better than what you would even expect. The northern province totally revolutionized that concept and it has now become the powerhouse it has dreamt of being. But to make a little bit more sense, let's get the graph. So the northern province has a population of about 1.05 million people, which is the lowest in the entire country and is the most affected area of Sri Lanka's civil war. And you probably know about that. When it comes to ethnicity, things get a bit interesting and it's homogeneous. 93.86% is Tamil, either Sri Lankan or Indian Tamil. 3.05% is Muslim. 3.06% is Sinhalese and 0.03% is Chinese, Malays, Burghers and other ethnic groups. Now 74.56% is Hindu, 19.27% is Christian, 3.05% is Muslim and 2.87% of the population is Buddhist. The province has 2 main official languages, which are Tamil and Sinhala. Tamil is spoken by the majority of the population in the province and they take Tamil very, very, very seriously. Please continue your lesson. Let's take notes. But you can actually speak English here in the northern province since it's actually very prevalent among the Tamil. Well, I guess we don't really need to talk about the ethnic groups because we actually talked about them in the eastern province, so yeah, minimal effort! But yeah, that brings me to the next point, which I'm sorry if I mentioned this, but actually is kind of true. The main reason why there's a huge population decrease in the northern province is because of 2 reasons: immigration and massacre. Now, you probably have heard of the Sri Lankan Civil War, which is what many people think about these days when other people think about the country of Sri Lanka. Now, many people in the northern province left the country because of, well, persecution, massacre, all that nasty stuff. And the military intervention by the Sri Lankan armed forces was also not an uncommon occurrence also. And well, the even Tigers themselves have actually expelled some Tamils for some reason, and also they expelled the the Muslim and the Sinhalese community, some of them out of the northern province for some reason actually. And many fled to Colombo where they would be safe, obviously. The LTT also unfortunately bombed a very, very important thing, a water tower in the capital of the LTT, which is Kilinochchi, causing a huge water crisis for the Kilinochchi residents. This also actually happened in 2008. This also explains why many of the Tamils, specifically people in the northern province, have voted for Maithripala Sirisena in the 2015 elections and Sajid Premadasa in the 2019 elections, as opposed to the Rajapaksas. In short, the northern province had to suffer a lot of conflict with pretty much everyone around them. However, now it is starting to relax, and now it just wants tourists to come in, and now it can just say, "Ah," or could they? Speaking of war, history. The condensed version of the northern province history would be the Jaffna Kingdom. The Portuguese come around, the Dutch come around, the British come around, Tamil administration of 1833, Jaffna, Mena, Banni and Nuwara Kalavi, Anuradhapura becomes the earliest northern province. Nuwara exit of 1873, in which Nuwara Kalavi acceded to the north central province, and the rest of the province became the present northern province. And then there was the Civil War, the Indo-Lanka Peace Accord of 1987. Then there's a whole Northeast Province Alliance, and then Northeast Province Alliance actually kind of ends, and it was sort of like a messy divorce, and blah blah blah. And then there was a whole travel ban, and then finally everything. And here we are today. Now I feel like you people are very tired after digesting that information. So let us now get a bit, relaxy. Totally butchered that. And let us now explain what the flag has to offer. So, without further ado, so the flag is actually very simple. It's just a red and a white and a green tricolor banner with a blue border around it. And it looks like Mexico, but I think you can probably tell it doesn't look like Mexico. The sun actually symbolizes the synergy of power and energy sources. The red represents labor, the white fraternity, peace and coexistence, the green for green agriculture, and the blue for the Indian Ocean. Now keep in mind, when there was the Northeast province, they had this flag, which is basically the same flag that we use today. And prior to that, when they were under the Jaffna Kingdom, they had this flag. So, simple. In conclusion, when you have been knocked down using tsunamis, wars, cyclones, it is very important to bit by bit stand up and just show everyone who's the boss. And you gotta show them you're the boss. The Northern Province, he totally revolutionized that concept, and now he can finally relax. Stay tuned! The North Central Province is coming up next.